Coming up on this episode of DL Weekly, Oogie Boogie Bash reservations are live, Disney Legends are announced, Disney Plus Day events at Disneyland.
Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique is reopening, fun new merchandise, we continue our discussion with Philander, and more. DL Weekly starts now.
Howdy, partners! For your safety, remain seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the podcast. And be sure to watch your ears. If any of you folks are wearing hats or glasses, best remove them, because Tag and Teresa have the wildest ride in the wilderness.
Hello and welcome to this episode of DL Weekly for the week of August 24th, 2022. I'm Tag Bushman.
And I'm Teresa Urban. We would like to thank all of our current weekly tiers for supporting the show. Without your support, DL Weekly would not be possible. Your support ensures that the podcast will continue and that we can make it to the parks more often to bring you the latest news and information right from the parks. If you would like to become an official weekly tier, head on over to dlweekly.net/support to sign up.
We have some details about the D23 Meetup, which is only a couple weeks away at this point, isn't it? 2.5 weeks, something like that?
Just around the corner.
Yeah, it's going to be here before we know it. We are going to have a weekly tier meetup at the Disneyland Hotel at the Fireplace near Trader Sam's on Saturday, September 10th from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. It is a D23 day, so D23 usually wraps up around 7. Give us a little bit of time to get over there, and then we have early the next morning, so 8 to 10 it is. If you could stop by for any amount of time, please feel free. We're also going to be at the Expo the entire weekend, so if you see us around, feel free to say hi.
Well, it's that time again for our friend Eric over at Concierge to catch us up on other Disney news.
Hello, everyone. This is Eric Johnson with Concierge, and welcome to the D180. While Tag and Teresa cover all things Disneyland in the D180, we take a spin around the rest of the Disney universe, and we do it in 180 seconds. Let's jump right in. We start our journey this week all around the world. Adventures by Disney just announced a large amount of discounted trips to a bevy of locations this fall and winter. In case you missed a few of those Disney lessons in school, Adventures by Disney is the arm of the company that arranges guided tours to some of the world's most coveted locations. ABD is consistently the highest rated experience in the Disney travel world, and it's not hard to figure out why. Each vacation includes expert Disney travel guides who guide you through VIP destinations, arranging unique experiences at every turn. The reason I'm excited about Adventures by Disney this week is because they just released a series of massive discounts throughout the fall and winter. For very select dates, each guest can book these experiences for $350 less than usual. Want to get the VIP treatment in Hollywood and Disneyland? The Southern California experience takes you through Hollywood history, the Jim Henson Studios, Disney Studios, and the Disneyland Resort itself over 6 days and nights. Okay, I get it. Not exotic enough for you. How about 7 days and 6 nights in Costa Rica? For about the same price as the Disneyland excursion, you can go ziplining through a rainforest and explore a volcano site. Too close to home? I hear you. Let's talk 10 days in Australia. Trek across the faraway continent, visiting the Great Barrier Reef, Melbourne, and Sydney. All right, that's not long enough. I want my vacation to last. Stay in the same vicinity for a 12-day visit to New Zealand. Immerse yourself in the splendor of this land and learn from the culture of its inhabitants. I hear you, not enough beaches. Okay, try the Adventures by Disney 12-day trip through Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia. Cruise down the real Mekong River, not the one you see on a certain jungle cruise, and spend a few days exploring these ancient lands, enjoying the splendor of their beaches, mountains, and cultural demonstrations. How about trips to Europe? Discounted tours will take you through Italy's classic Roman destinations over 8 days. Tours through Rome, Tuscany, Florence, and Venice are sure to delight over the week-long tour. You could also opt for a week in England and France, visiting crown jewels, the Tower of London, and French museums. Wave to the Mona Lisa for me during your private tour of the Louvre. There are so many destinations open at a discounted rate through January 2023. Give your favorite travel planner a call and see if you can pull together the adventure of a lifetime. Phew. Okay. How about some park stuff? Let's go back to that, huh? Epcot announced that some of their fan favorite tours are also returning this October. Experience the science behind living with the land on the Behind the Seeds tour. This tour is advertised during the ride itself, and it's been a little while since we've been able to go on it. Enjoy Life in the Bubbles with Fish in the Seas with Nemo and Friends on either their scuba experience or a swim with the dolphins experience. All 3 attractions, land and sea, will be available for booking starting August 22nd for dates beginning in October. If you happen to have a trip scheduled at this time, consider the step up to a VIP tour experience like these. And that's 180 seconds. I hope you enjoyed our quick spin around the rest of the Disney universe. If you would like to learn more about these Disney adventures or just have a few questions, please come on over. Visit the social media and websites of both DLWeekly and us, their official travel planners, concierges. We look forward to planning something special for you and yours. I am Eric Johnson, and this has been your D180.
Well, thanks, Eric. Now let's get to the news. Reservations are now open for the Oogie Boogie Bash dessert party. Guests will get to enjoy some Halloween-themed desserts and beverages while sitting in a preferred seating area for the Frightfully Fun Parade. Price is $89, which includes tax and gratuity per guest.
They have not teased us with what these wonderful desserts are going to be or what they look like yet. We might have to wait until the first partygoers go and experience and share their photos and share their experience. But I'm a little surprised that they brought this back, but then I'm also not surprised that they brought this back. To me, this price point seems a little high for what you get for a dessert party, $89.
Isn't that the price of the World of Color dessert party?
It might be. I don't know. Dessert parties are a little tough for me because you're right. They're always priced higher than what the dining packages are. So, and I really enjoy the dining packages. I do think that for me, it's a good value. It's usually good food, good location. Of course, you've got, there's some that are better than others, of course, like anything. But the dessert parties are just a little tough for me. This one, I think, is a little tougher to justify just because you've already paid your ticket price to get into the Oogie Boogie Bash. So then paying an additional $89 for the dessert party on top of it is hard financially. But then also, there's just so much cool stuff at Oogie Boogie Bash that I would feel bad like taking time away from experiencing the rest of the party to like just be at the dessert party. Does that make sense?
That's how it feels like to me. I don't want to be, it's kind of like we talked, a few weeks ago about the VIP tour and how you don't want to spend an hour of your VIP tour, eating lunch or something. It's kind of how I feel about these dessert parties and stuff at Oogie Boogie Bash. Plus, from what you were saying with your experience of Oogie Boogie Bash, you had a dining package, a few years ago, that the parade viewing spot wasn't, exactly what you had hoped it would be.
The one perk for the dessert party is you are sitting up and you do get to sit, whereas the rest of the parade viewing area, including the Wine Country Trattoria's area that we'll talk about next, is just on the ground. So you're either sitting on the cement or you're standing. So at least you're sitting at a table enjoying your desserts, kind of with a higher view of the parade. So it should be less obstructed view for you as well. So that is definitely a plus. Well, the Oogie Boogie Bash dining parade package at the Wine Country Trattoria is also live for reservations. This year, guests can choose from a lunch or dinner package time. Pricing is $59, which does not include tax or gratuity, and includes a 3-course prefix meal as well as a separate reserved viewing area for the parade.
This sounds like a much better deal. $59.
We did this last year. You've forgotten, but we did this last year.
And that's fine. This one was good. And I think I'm just saying between this and the dessert party, this is a much better deal. Although I do think this is interesting because the lunch and dinner prices are the same, but they offer all the same food for lunch and dinner, right?
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same menu. So, but this, I'm assuming, but this is interesting because both times I've done Oogie Boogie Bash, 2019 and 2021, I did do the dining package at Wine Country Trattoria, and I thought the food was very good. Last year, the dessert was a little, I don't know, it was a little too much. It was almost like they mushed like 5 different types of desserts together and
I loved it.
You did, yeah. It was a little much for me. It was not my favorite Disney. Anyways, I'm getting myself off topic, but I think it's a good value. But the thing that's new this year, I don't remember them doing this. It used to only be dinner, and I want to say the earliest you could get your reservation was at like 3 p.m. And now they have added lunch to the mix too. So I think that'll be interesting, because this is not something when you go online to make your reservation, you're just making a reservation for the restaurant. You're not making a reservation specifically for this dining package. So when you get to the restaurant, you have to let your server know, you have to let the hostess know when they check you in that you're interested in doing the parade package. So with it being now open for a longer period of time, I'm wondering if they have a larger parade viewing area that accommodates for more people, or if you're going to possibly run into the issue of, if you get there, like, are they going to run out of space sooner since it's open, since it's more open? My hope is that the reserved viewing area for the parade is just larger this go around. We'll find out soon, though. Yeah,
I feel like that would be something that they should do. I also thought it was funny. They said that the cost is $59 for guests age 10 up, $35 for guests 3 to 9, and there's a $10 upcharge if you want the ribeye.
It was worth it. I think that's what we got. It was pretty yummy. I did. Yep, it was pretty yummy. I like this. I think it's a better price than the dessert package. But the other thing that I really like about this is that I can do this dining package before the party even starts. So I don't feel like I'm losing party time by taking part in the dinner or the lunch dining package. So that's a big plus, a big perk for me. I'm not sure. I did look this morning. There were 2 reservation times open for the date that we're going to Oogie Boogie Bash. However, they were earlier than park hop jumping time was, and we are starting in Disneyland that day. So unless I change your reservations, or unless dining reservations open later in the evening, I'm not sure if this is something we'll do this year or not. They do also offer walk up. So it is possible, even if you don't have a reservation, you can always check at the host stand and see if they have availability or not. So I'm not sure if this is something we'll do this year or not, but I'm excited to hear other people's experiences.
Yeah. I mean, it was a good time last time, like you said. Mm-hmm. With the D23 Expo coming up in just a couple of weeks, Disney has announced the people who will be inducted as Disney Legends. Strap in, folks. It's quite the list. This year, Anthony Anderson from Law & Order, Kristen Bell from the Frozen series, Chadwick Boseman from Black Panther, Disney Imagineer Robert Coltrane, Patrick Dempsey from Grey's Anatomy, Robert Price Bob Foster, former Walt Disney Productions Real Estate Vice President, Josh Gad from Frozen and Beauty and the Beast, Jonathan Groff from Hamilton and Frozen, author and documentarian Don Hahn, Disney Imagineer Doris Hardoon, Idina Menzel from Frozen, executive music producer Chris Monton, Ellen Pompeo from Grey's Anatomy, and Tracy Ellis Ross from Blackish. Including these honorees, 304 people have been named Disney Legends.
Wow, that's amazing. I'm very excited. I think the person that as they were going through the people that I was the most excited that's going to be receiving this award was Don Hahn, and then also Robert Coltrane, just because I feel they're people that, it's not like they're not the flashy celebrities like we have on this list, but I do love and really enjoy their contributions. And Robert Coltrane, the more I learn about him, the more amazed I am with him. And I'm just excited to learn more and more and more about him. But he's been a part of a lot of our most favorite and most memorable attractions at the park. So very excited for that. And then, of course, Don Hahn. He's just as incredible as well. Who are you the most excited? Well, I can't not say Jonathan Groff, because I love him as a human. So I was very excited about that. And I thought it was very, very touching that Chadwick Boseman will also be being honored. Who are you excited for?
I thought it was funny when I was writing this list, because they separated them out. But it was funny that Kristen Bell, Idina Menzel, and Jonathan Groff and Josh Gad, there was like everybody from Frozen becomes a legend this year.
All of Frozen. Yes. Yes.
So I thought that was kind of interesting. I will tell you, for seeing in person, if we get into this, I hope that a bunch of these people, to be honest, are in there. But Jonathan Groff would be one that I really would love to be in the same room as. Josh Gad, I think, is hilarious. But I'm with you with like Don Hahn. I liked him because he was involved in some of those
yes, Disney
documentaries that are on Disney Plus, right? Mm-hmm. So I think it's a solid year for Disney Legend inductees. It's going to be a fun time.
Disney Plus Day is coming up soon, and the parks are getting in on the celebrations. On September 8th, guests will get to take part in special character meet and greets, complimentary PhotoPass photo ops, and even blue churros. Disney Plus subscribers and their guests will also be able to enter the parks at 7:30 a.m. You can get in on some of the fun from home, too, with Disney PhotoPass lenses, which will be available through Snapchat. So you can get your Disney on from home, too.
Ooh. Yeah, Disney Plus Day. For some reason, this thing always seems to like pop up on me out of nowhere. And they always have like a lot of good stuff coming. Obviously, I know we're talking about the parks, but some of the things that they've announced that are coming that day are, of course, Thor, Love and Thunder. They have a making of Thor, the assembled series. One that I didn't even know was coming, but I'm very excited. Was the Obi-Wan Kenobi, A Jedi's Return.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited for some of these things. So, but yes, we unfortunately, I think, are missing that day, right? That's our travel day.
That's our travel day. So we will not be able to go to the parks to enjoy Disney Plus Day, nor will we be able to probably enjoy Disney Plus because we'll be working and then traveling.
Yes.
But we hopefully, I'm curious because I feel like the celebration is going to continue on through the weekend, and there might be some special things at the Disney Plus booth and area during the expo to celebrate this as well. I mean, it was 2019 expo that you and I signed up for Disney Plus. We didn't even really quite know what it was or what we were getting ourselves into when we signed up, because it had a really amazing deal for expo attendees to sign. And I think we signed for 3 years. So that's going to be coming up, and we're going to be
November 11th, it expires.
Yep. We're going to be paying the regular price because we got some really,
it was like $3 a month or some ridiculousness.
It was something really low. But and Pinocchio, the live action Pinocchio is also coming out on Disney Plus on September 8th. So I think I know what I will be watching on the plane ride.
Not to derail us like I do, but the D23, if you're a D23 member and you get the magazine, there is a great article in there about the upcoming Hocus Pocus 2, which I immediately read when I opened it yesterday. I set the magazine aside and I kind of let it sit there for a while. I had to read this article. It was really great. I'm very excited for this movie. Well, Calling All Princesses and Knights, the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, opens this week on August 25th. The Fairy Godmother's apprentices will once again be offering these magical makeovers. It appears that there have been some updates to the package and pricing, so be sure to check out the link in our show notes.
Yeah, so it was actually the trip in 2019 that I went to Oogie Boogie Bash that I got to hang out with my cousin's little girls while they were getting their magical makeovers done at the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. So I got to kind of see the whole process from start to finish, but also that included, what the different packages were in that kind of selection process. And so when I was looking at the website today, there's a ton of package. I don't think there was this many packages before. There's 10 packages now.
Oh my! I
don't remember there being 10 packages before. So they range from the carriage package, which starts at $99.95 plus tax, and they goes all the way up to the signature dress.
Well, let me stop you right
collection.
there. The cheap one is actually $19.95.
Oh,
it's the night package.
Yes. The night package. That's actually a great deal,
right?
For the night package, because the night package is hairstyling with gel, a sword, and a shield for $19.95. I feel like you can't even buy the sword and the shield for $19.95. Mm-hmm. So that's a great deal. But then the Princess Signature Dress Collection is the top tier, which is $450 plus tax.
Woo!
But I feel like they've included more stuff in these packages than what they had previously offered before, because even the lowest tier now comes with a t-shirt. And when we went, and my two little cousins, they got the sash, but there was not a t-shirt. They were able to add extra things like different things that they could put in their hair that were a little bit extra and that sort of stuff. But yeah, they didn't have the the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique t-shirt that now seems to come with each package. So that's, yeah, so they did a little switcheroo and change up there.
I have to say that the young Knights have the best deal here, because there was the intro one for $20 and the deluxe night package is $80, and it comes with a knight costume, hairstyling with gel, and a mighty sword and shield. So
a mighty sword and shield. Yes,
I wish I had a little kid that I could have go and get knighted up, because I think it'd be so adorable. I love seeing. We're gonna have to swing by when this is back open and gander at some of these amazing.
And see all of the princesses and knights coming out of the boutique, all freshly done. Yes, and it's fun too, because I could see this being a really fun thing to do with your little ones, because some of these package, they even come with portrait sessions.
Oh wow!
Some of the higher tiered ones even have portrait sessions. So I mean, that's kind of a fun thing. But anyways,
what a fun birthday present for a little kid or something.
Yeah, some very special event. This would be such a cool experience, I'm sure. And I just remember watching the girls' face as they got to, because they're doing the makeover, and they're not allowing your child to see themselves in the mirror until they're all finished. And so I just remember the look on their faces when they turned around and had the magic mirror show them what they looked, what their new do looked like and all that. And they were just so excited, and they were just glowing, and that glow just continued for the rest of the day. It was so, so special and so cute. With many of the new Marvel shows on Disney Plus, we have been seeing some of the new characters hanging out over an Avengers campus. Well, with the recent release of She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, something a little different has made its way into the parks. New themed benches, much like the one on the promo image, have popped up. There are 2 of these green benches, one across from the Hyperion Theater dining area and the other by Pym Tasting Lab. There is a fun twist to the benches. They have been dented, so it is made to appear that She-Hulk had been sitting on them and has left her mark.
I did not look at this earlier, but I'm looking at it now. That's clever.
Yeah, and the thing that's fun about that is maybe at first glance you're like, "Aw, Disney, why is She-Hulk only getting a bench?"
Right.
Okay. It's not like they just painted a bench green and slapped something on the back to make it, in theme for She-Hulk. No, there's some creative and some fun that went on with that. The other thing too, she's an attorney, so she's probably very, very busy and may not have as much free time to just be hanging out to visit with us on Avengers Campus.
That's true
as well.
Did you know that phone number works, by the way?
That's what I saw. We need to call it. When we're there, we've got to call it. Or I suppose we could just look at the photo and call it.
It'll be more fun to do it there, though.
Yes, definitely.
Well, the jolly big guy is coming to have breakfast with guests this year. Santa himself will be eating breakfast with guests at Catal Restaurant. The event will include a meet and greet and photos with Santa, a stuffed animal, and personalized stockings for children 10 and under, a family-style breakfast, and bottomless mimosas, hot cocoa, carolers, and more. There will be limited dates in November and December, and will be $110 per adult and $50 per child, 3 to 10. Visit the link in the show notes to reserve your place now.
Isn't this just wild? We haven't even started Halloween yet, and we're already having to plan ahead for the December holidays. It's just crazy. But that's just this time of year, right? We get Halloween, and then just boom, you just kind of go through the rest of the holidays, and next thing you know, it's January. So it makes sense. But this sounds like, again, another fun event. If this was, if I was local, I could see going and taking kids and enjoying the magic. And the thing that's nice about this, too, is it's downtown Disney. So you don't need a ticket. You don't need a reservation. You need a dining reservation. You don't need a park reservation in addition to the ticket. So a little bit more affordable from that sense. You just have to, it's just the dining experience.
Do you know what surprises me? I'm looking at the reservation calendar for this.
Mm-hmm.
And for those of you who would like to have breakfast with Santa the morning of his big trip, there are reservations on December 24th from 8 a.m. to 12:45 p.m. So
wow.
You could have breakfast with the big man on his big day.
Wow.
It's pretty exciting.
Bet you he'll be fueling up extra that day.
I mean, good thing it's a buffet, right?
Yes. This week, Disney is celebrating World Princess Week. To kick off the celebration, Grammy Award-winning artist Brandy performed the theme song of the Ultimate Princess celebration called Starting Now. Brandy performed it in front of Sleeping Beauty Castle at Disneyland. The video of her performance is linked in our show notes.
So I read this limited article that we have linked in the show notes, and there wasn't, I don't know anything about World Princess Week. They didn't really say much other than Brandy came and sung this song.
So the other thing that's going on for World Princess Week, there's all sorts of different treats that are popping up around the resort that are themed to the different princesses. Of course, meet and greets. I think there's one or two photo ops. There's a special magic key holder photo op over in DCA that I believe you get to go get your photo taken with Princess Minnie to celebrate. So there's just, that kind of fun stuff all around. But the whole reason for this is to highlight the impact of Disney princesses and the courage and kindness that they inspire in all fans around the world. So I think that's a very sweet message. And the Starting Now theme song was actually, I believe it was produced and created specifically for this too. So
that's cool. A new Tiki Mug will be swimming into Trader Sam's this week, and I guarantee you it'll be swimming right out just as quick as it swam in. The Monstro Tiki Mug will be available on August 26th on mobile order only. Interested buyers should set their alarms early. The mobile order sale will start as early as 6 a.m. with pickup windows at Trader Sam's between 7 a.m. and 3 p.m. This thing is amazing.
It is so cool. So not that I need another thing to start collecting, but man, each time they come out with these Tiki Mugs, all I think about is how cool it would have have a Disney Tiki Mug collection, because they're beautiful. They're so well done. You and I do both have a Disney Tiki Mug. One of our awesome listeners gifted us with the Hatbox Ghost Tiki Mug that came out. Oh gosh, that may have been 2018,
it was
2019 when it came out. Yeah. And beautiful. I love it. I love it so much. And every time they come out with another Disney themed one, they're just great. Monstro, so the Tiki Mug was actually kind of almost looked like it was wood or maybe bone. It's kind of like a tannish, brownish color. Monstro, however, is painted and colored blue. So he's blue like a whale, and he's got some white waves at the base of it too. But it's just
I don't
so
know how
cool.
practical it is to drink out of, but it looks amazing.
It would be fun. You just use straw. That's all. You just put a straw in it. It's fine.
Perfect.
But we do not have any information on what the price for this mug will be. But if this is something you're interested in, it sounds like it's one day only to try and get your hands on it. So, it does say here guests will be allowed to grab a max of 2 mugs per order. So that's the other thing to keep in mind as well, is you can't go get one for you and all 10 of your friends. Just 2 per person per order.
That's good.
Well, speaking of new merch, a shiny new popcorn bucket has been spotted at the parks. The iridescent purple bucket is available for purchase for Magic Key holders. The bucket is $18.25. However, unlike previous Magic Key or AP buckets, this one does not advertise that it has free or lower priced refills. So this is just a shiny, fancy Magic Key bucket.
I did see this as well. This was another one of those pieces of merch that just kind of popped up that looked kind of cool. This is kind of neat. It's that iridescent thing, like you said. In the pictures I've seen, it's a little pinkish to me.
Pink, yeah, it's like a pink purple, kind of like a fuchsia.
Yeah, it's definitely eye-catching. That's for sure.
I'm sure in the sun, this thing probably
is blinding.
Reflects. It was, yeah, or it's very beautiful depending on how the sun hits it. I am a little sad that they're not offering the refills again, because that was such a fun and such a good deal. When they did that last time. You had actually picked up a popcorn bucket last year when they did that. That was actually a little bit better style of a bucket to do refills with, because that was the style of bucket that had a lid and it wasn't just one of the fancy decorative buckets. This is more of a fancy decorative bucket.
And I feel like they should be doing this more often with the popcorn thing, because I'm sorry, folks, I used to work at a movie theater. I know movie theaters charge outrageous amounts of money for popcorn, but it's super cheap. So I think that would be a real fun thing. That would sell a lot of popcorn buckets.
Oh, yeah, it would.
Well, some would say that one of the best things about staying in a Disney hotel is the bath products. Well, there is some bad news on that front. H2O Plus will be discontinuing the brand at the end of 2022. No word yet on what will replace the brand as supplies dwindle.
This wasn't something I would normally include in the news, but I just felt like this was so important and so like such a ripple effect and so impactful. It's one of the things that a lot of Disney guests look forward to. It's something that before I had stayed at a Disney hotel, I had heard about these products and I just really wanted to try them because people raved about, oh, the shampoos and the bath products at the Disney hotels are great. You got to try it. And it was just this kind of like super special Disney thing.
And who bought a pack? This guy.
Yes. You. Yeah. The first time we stayed at a Disney hotel and you tried it, we're in the gift shop buying you the full size set so you could take it home. Yeah. So this seems like it's a small thing, but I feel like it's a big thing. So I felt like we needed to let everybody know. But the thing that I've really been kind of going back and forth in is, since this was such a staple, such a well-known, such a loved part of the Disney hotel and cruise line experience, I do not envy the person that has to find the replacement product to put have to put in its place. I mean, not that Disney wants to get in the bath market industry, but part of me is almost like, does Disney just somehow figure out how to do this themselves so they can continue doing it, continue offering that product? Because they kind of went hand in hand, and so many people only knew of the brand because of its association with Disney. Yep. Well, for sure, people in Disney community, that's how I knew of the brand, was because of its association with Disney.
I'm just so surprised, because it seems like even if you just take into account Disney buying the stuff, like that's a huge sale constantly of the hotels and everything. Yeah. Why? I don't know why you would discontinue that brand, and why would you not just do it as a brand specific for Disney or something? I don't know.
Your attention, please. DL Weekly Trivia is now leaving for a grand circle tour of the Magic Kingdom, with stops at New Orleans Square, Mickey's Toontown, and Tomorrowland. All weekly tiers for...
Welcome to Trivia Land, where we've got some great listener-submitted questions lined up for you tonight. How you feeling? You think you've got some great knowledge racked up in your brains and you're ready to go?
I don't know. Last week was pretty tough. Tag did a good job, but it was a pretty tough week.
We'll see.
Was James not nice to you?
He was nice to me.
Oh, well, that's good. I'm glad James was nice to you.
Inadvertently, anyway.
Oh, all right. Well then, let's start off with a question from listener Chris Y. What animals can be seen on Pirates of the Caribbean?
Dog,
man, a lot of them. Okay, so let's kind of go through. We've got so in the beginning we've got there's seagulls and crabs.
Oh yeah, crabs, seagulls.
There's an octopus.
Yep, in the hallway. Yep, octopus.
There's cats, pigs,
chickens.
There's a
parrot,
donkey,
dog. It has a lot of animals in it.
So I've got seagulls, crabs, octopus, cats, pigs, chickens, donkey, dog, parrot. That is all that's coming to mind at this moment.
Yes, I concur.
All right. Is that your final answer?
Final answer.
All right. And your second question, submitted by listener Donna S. Who was the first, quote, regular, end quote, person to buy a ticket and enter Disneyland?
Oh, I don't remember their name. It was a man. That's all I know. I don't remember what his name is.
Well, you had a 50-50 chance there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The first ticket number 1 was purchased by Roy, but I don't remember what the name of the actual guest was. That's terrible. We'll know it when we hear it.
Yeah.
Is that your final answer?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right.
Not a very good one, but yes.
Question number 3, submitted by listener Chrissy A. What was the first movie to be filmed in Disneyland? Not a Disney film.
I feel like somewhere in my mind I know this too, but
I don't know.
It's a great question.
I'm stumped. It is a good question.
Man, we've got 2 not even guess questions.
Yep. Nope. We're doing real well this week.
Did you expect this poorly of a turnout, Vern?
For this question, yeah, definitely. I had a fun time vetting this one. I mean, it was an easy vet because the question or the answer popped right up, but then reading deeper into it and learning more, it's an interesting, learning more about it was really fun. I enjoyed this question. And your fourth and final regular round question submitted by listener Cooper C. How many steam locomotives are run in Disneyland, and what are their names?
We had this before, or something similar. There's five.
I think there's 5. Yep.
There's the CK Holiday,
Isn't there something
the Ward
Ridley?
Kimball, the EP Ripley,
Yep, EP Ripley. That's it.
the Ward Kimball, the CK Holiday.
Are there ones that are just like not engine number, right? They've got actual names. It's not like engine number 5.
No, I think they all have names.
Yeah.
The Fred Gurley.
Oh, yep. Okay. I'm missing one. You said CK Holiday, Ward Kimball, Fred Gurley. There was another one, the Ripley.
The EP Ripley. Because they were all like
They're named after people like from the Santa
Fe Railroad. Wasn't one of them, wasn't like the newest one named after the Ward Kimball? The Ward Kimball? Did we put Ward Kimball on there?
Yep, we have
Okay.
Ward Kimball. And yes, and engine number 5.
All right, final answer?
Yeah.
Final answer.
All right. And your bonus question tonight. Of the previous named trains, what 2 were present on Disneyland's opening day?
Oh, man.
I feel like the EP Ripley and the CK
The holiday was, that was my thought, was the holiday.
Is that your
EP
final
and
answer?
CK.
That's mine, yeah.
Final answer.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listeners, how did you do listening at home? How do you think Tag and Teresa did? If you stick around until after the discussion topic, we can all find out together.
For our discussion topic this week, we continue our discussion with Philander. Enjoy.
I was going to say, I want to kind of circle back because I feel like you'll have a very interesting perspective on this. You're talking about New Orleans Square and how it's so cool that it has all these like little pockets. And of course, we just had a lot of the widening of walkways in New Orleans Square that kind of took away some of that charm.
Teresa's got thoughts on this.
A lot of people have thoughts. So I'm curious what your thoughts are, since you're a super fan, but you're also somebody that, understands more of the business side of it and you deal with it daily. So what are your thoughts on I don't know if this was still considered Project Stardust, but when they kind of had to take away a little bit of that charm to make it easier to go through. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and lack of strollers, but we're not going to go there.
Yeah. Strollers is another. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm. Yeah. That makes sense. Well, and the nice thing about the marketplace too is, again, it was a design decision. It was very intentional. If you need to use the restroom, it's right on the end. So you can just kind of like boop, boop, and but you don't have to go through the tiny crowded area. They also have a second path that you can
Much
go
more
around.
open.
So you have that choice of, which way you want to go.
If you want to
be,
you could go through the little things, or you just go along the riverfront.
Yep. And same thing, like, you have the restroom on the one side and then you have the restaurant on the other side. So you don't have to, they're not forcing you to go through the tight marketplace area to get to probably two of the main draws that people are going to use in that area. Yes, of course, the shops are fun, but like, we don't visit the shop every time we're there, but we probably visit Ronto Roasters every time we're there because they're delicious. And even just the layout of the land. I like that it's not some other big parks, because some other big parks are just like, here's your main highway and you're just kind of like boop, boop, boop. I like that it's like a maze and that you can almost get lost back there. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Mhm. Right. Yes. Yes, I did. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep. They just want to live there.
My concern with this, and I was curious what your opinion was. You got there. Like I was waiting for a pause that I was going to ask you about lands versus attractions, and then you just got there.
Yeah.
But my
You read
question,
your mind.
my question though is, I've talked about this on the podcast before, where I feel that a generic land, an adventure land, a frontier land, a Tomorrowland, whatever, is a better way to go because people like Star Wars right now. 67 years from now, are people still going to be as excited about Star Wars? And when you have a land that is so catered to one thing, it's not like retheming Tower of Terror to Mission Breakout. It's, well, what other IP or whatever can we fit in something that looks like Batuu that we can kind of like throw some other thing? Like, it can only be what it is.
Well, unless Disney long term is looking at it like it's a parade or like it's a stage
like
show
after
or
so many
fireworks.
years, and then they're
They
just good.
Yep. And then because you could very easily, I'm not saying Disney's going to do this, you could very easily, that land didn't exist before. So you could close it and redo, level and redo it. That would be insane. But if needed, that could happen. Whereas Disneyland itself, minus like Toontown and everything within the berm, we'll say, I think needs to kind of stay how it is because it's so interconnected. So I don't really.
It's hard to like close all of Tomorrowland.
Back to Tomorrowland. I think it's possible for them to do it since they're proving that they're doing it right now with Tomorrowland, that you can close a land to redo a land. But is it good for customer and guest experience? No, so like.
Well, when they redid Buena Vista Street, they like funneled everybody in a different way, and they had the main entrance to the park closed.
So I think Disneyland being generic land specific
sure
is important just because we're very tight on space. So you can't really just kind of keep moving out and out versus other places that made sure they had plenty of space. It's easier to be able to keep creating these experiences. Well, in Cars Land. Yep.
Oh.
Really? Yeah. Oh.
That would have been weird.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah, they rebuilt the track, right, for the 50th?
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, and look at the subs.
Mm.
I mean, yes, we had the closure for the park, but yeah, 2.5 years for the subs. Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
Everybody sucked onto that. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well, I think they have a window. I think when you reopen Toontown and you have a new big popular attraction, it's not going to hurt as much if you close down Tomorrowland because you're going to have such a draw.
Well, and maybe you'll
back
have
there.
Splash Mountain retheme.
That's true. You'll have the Splash Mountain retheme. Plus, we have a new land, so you've got more space. Well, newer land. You've got Galaxy's Edge, so it wouldn't hurt as bad if Galaxy's Edge didn't exist. That's just less space, less things to do if you did it. So I think there's an opportunity.
Well, and now that they control reservation numbers, they could just knock the reservation number down a little bit, and then it'll still feel good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
They could do it in phases too. They could work through the land,
do the front
depending
and the back
on what they're
something.
doing. Yeah.
Right. Yep. Yeah, and it's a big job. You can't just quickly do it overnight. Yeah. Mm-hmm. This is an experience right now. Yeah.
Well,
like, never mind.
the other thing that we were arguing, obviously not running the business of Disney. A lot of fans, including us, when the park was closed, it was like, well, why don't you do a bunch of stuff while the park is closed? Because, like, obviously you have a property that is not bringing in anything, and is still costing money to maintain on some level. And so people don't think, like, it's like, yes, it would have been convenient to do paint everything while it was closed, and they could get it done so much faster. And, if one of the things was, an argument's been made about, like, the people mover tracks, like, well, it's so hard to do that with people in the park. It's like, well, they could have demolished that while the park was closed. But if you're not making any money from a business standpoint, that'd be, shareholders would probably think that was fiscally irresponsible to be doing that stuff. But
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. Well, and then it was such a roller coaster, too. There were some parts where it's like, well, no. And then other times, like, well, maybe. And no. So. Mm-hmm. Yep. 65th, yeah. Mm-hmm.
the carousel, yep.
Oh, yeah, the carousel. We would have a new Tomorrowland. Just kidding. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of
We
sense.
can open, but we've actually torn up the whole park.
Yeah,
so
sorry.
actually, we're going to be delayed another few months.
Yeah, it's just dirt. Just use your imagination. It's fine. Oh, yeah. Yeah. The super fans would have been like...
We live in the Midwest, and we flew out just for Touch of Disney to just be in the bubble of the resort. Although we were very sad. Like, when we saw you, we were very sad. Because I think at the time, there was a secondary barrier where you couldn't, like, go up to the fence for Disneyland. And it was like, we can't even get close to the gate. It was very sad. Oh, jeez.
You're like, I hope the photo was worth it.
And they're the ones who ruined it for everybody else that couldn't go up and touch the gates. We had to be physically distanced from the park.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
I'd love to, like, work in... I mean, you probably know this because you've worked in City Hall, yeah? Like, like on an average day, how many like cell phones and stuff show up in Lost and Found? Probably hundreds.
I'm surprised it's that long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, here you go.
Yeah. Well, and Disney, we've had people that have called that don't live in the area, and they've called, Lost and Found like a few days after their trip, and
Or
Disneyland will like mail them
Yeah, I was
stuff.
gonna say, or they go to City Hall. Yep, they go to City Hall and say, "This is what I lost," and maybe they didn't recover the item at that moment.
Yeah,
but then they'll get a call and be like, "We found it."
that's great guest
I
service
think that's
though.
amazing.
Like, just shows up at your house later. Disneyland pays for it. That's cool.
That's he was having fun.
Amazing.
They don't need the bins. They just have a room full of lost stuff, I'm sure. You forget your stroller.
People do, man.
Just get in the Disney mindset. And they're like, oh.
I'll just buy another one. It's fine.
Oh, no. Please come back.
We will finish our discussion topic with Philander next week.
Looks like we're coming in for a landing, gang. But please stay listening until trivia comes to a stop. And then you can walk to the nearest exit. Thanks for listening to the 8th wonder of the world, DLWeekly.
Welcome back to Trivia Land, where we're going to find out the answers to these awesome listener-submitted questions. Dag Teresa, how do you think you did?
Well, I mean, we didn't answer anything to two of the people,
No.
so we did not great.
The best we can do is 50%, and we didn't even answer the train one fully either. So my hope is on the animals and pirates. That's where my hope is.
Let's hope.
All right. Well, let's find out. That first question submitted by listener Chris Y. What animals can be seen on Pirates of the Caribbean? You answered seagulls, crabs, octopus, cats, parrots, chickens, pigs, dogs, and a donkey. The correct answer that I was looking for was seagulls, crabs, octopus, cats, parrots, chickens, pigs, dogs, and a donkey.
Woohoo!
Good
We
job.
got them all?
Yes, there is also in our answer an alligator.
Oh, there is. Yes, in the beginning.
Okay.
There is. He's the alligators in the bayou.
I didn't originally include that in because I was like, is that part of Pirates? Is that part of the
Yeah.
back of the Blue Bayou restaurant?
Yeah,
But
no, it's pirates.
I left that for debate.
Yeah. I didn't even think about the bayou part. I was just thinking about.
That's where I was thinking about
In-
the parrot from, because the parrot's at the end thing.
Yep.
Isn't it?
It's the very end,
mhm.
but you're definitely fully on the Pirates ride
sure.
there. So, yeah, so I left the alligator up for debate, but you got everything else, so I gave you correct on that one.
Okay.
All right. Your second question, submitted by listener Donna S. Who was the first regular person to buy a ticket and enter Disneyland? You guessed no answer.
Some guy.
Yeah, some guy was your answer.
Yeah. Terrible.
The
answer.
correct answer that I was looking for was 22-year-old Long Beach State College student Dave McPherson, who started a line at the ticket window at 2 a.m.
Wow.
And he was the first person to be able to be at the head of the line and buy that first ticket. In honor of that event, he has continued to receive a lifetime pass every year since.
I knew that part, that he also got a lifetime pass. I mean, that was worth it to get up at 2 a.m. to wait in line to then
Yeah, you never knew you were going
get
to get
a lifetime pass.
though.
I mean, man, no, I know, but man, that's awesome.
Your third regular round question submitted by listener Chrissy A. What was the first movie to be filmed in Disneyland, not a Disney film? You answered, no idea. The correct answer that I was looking for is 40 Pounds of Trouble, starring Tony Curtis and Suzanne Plachette, filmed in 1962. It was the first movie that Walt approved to be shot on location in Disneyland.
Wow.
I need to look this up. I've never heard of this movie before. That didn't even tickle something in my brain. Like, oh yeah, I heard that, I had heard of that some point of being the first movie filmed. I need to look into that. Interesting.
And your fourth and final regular round question from listener Cooper C. How many steam locomotives are ran in Disneyland, and what are their names? You answered 5, and you said there was the C.K. Holiday, the E.P. Ripley, the Fred Gurley, and the Ward Kimball. Because you almost got all of them, I gave you it correct. The only one you were missing was the Ernest S. Marsh.
Oh, yep. Dang.
Lovingly known as engine number 5.
Yes.
Which is funny because I think that is not I think
No, it probably
yeah.
isn't.
And your bonus points tonight, also submitted by listener Cooper C. What two engines were present on Disneyland's opening day? You were correct in saying the C.K. Holiday and the E.P. Ripley.
Wow, I'm
Woo.
impressed with that one. High five.
Thank goodness it wasn't the one.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, it's going to be the one we don't remember the name of.
All right. Well, listeners, how did you do listening at home? How do you feel about how Tag and Teresa did? Do you think you've got some great questions that can really stump them next week? If you think you've got that perfect question, feel free to send that in to us at trivia@dlweekly.net.
We will be back next week with more Disneyland news and information.
So until then, go out and enjoy the parks.
Please remain seated until the podcast comes to a complete stop and the doors have opened. Then collect your belongings, watch your head, and step carefully from the episode. On behalf of all of our crew, thanks for traveling with us. And we hope you have a happy and memorable visit here at DL Weekly.